shooting or so. How much of that was what you were doing at point of attack, and I remember you said recently how you start possessions often dictates how you end them.
Yeah, I thought first half, obviously we played really well offensively and found good shots against their defense, which is hard to do, but that kept us in the game. I just didn't think physically we were very good, especially at the rim. They were just kind of slicing through us, getting wherever they wanted to go. They were very comfortable there. And then in the second half, we really tightened the screws there. I thought we were really alert. The group to start the second half was an 11-0 run, I think. And then it was 13-0 to start the fourth. Those two different groups were really, really good. And it was mostly our defense, and that was the difference in the game, I thought.
Tim Rhodes with the AP. What is it about this team that a bunch of young guys come to Miami at the end of a trip and not just have the legs to play 48 way to get the maturity to go and kind of the excellent players? I know you're probably tired of the question, but it's an incredibly, it looks like a very mature group for a young group. What is it about this group that makes it so brilliant at this point in their careers?
Yeah, I think there is an uncommon maturity about them, as I've said before. A lot of it's who they are as people, and I think a lot of them have that walking in the door. And then it gains momentum when there's like-minded people together, and they bounce off each other in that way. And I thought tonight it was the end of a trip. We have not had our fastball physically the last couple of games. I didn't think we had it tonight, but we drummed up the energy. We had the mental toughness to stay in it and drum up the energy, stay disciplined in the game plan. And I thought we got stronger as the game went on. And I thought some of that was just the contagiousness of the group. And we've seen that time and time again. We're not perfect, but they have a pretty high baseline of competitive maturity. I would agree with that.
Coach, you mentioned the offense in the first half, and really it was kind of coming throughout the entire night. What did you think of the group's ability to generate good looks throughout the night, given that Miami was throwing a lot of different schemes and looks at you guys?
Yeah, that was a great game for us because, as I said before the game, that's a team that really keeps you off balance. They have great game plans and execution of those game plans. They change defenses, they change matchups. They really keep you on your toes, and I thought the guys did a great job tonight of recognizing what we needed to do. Their aggression on the ball and then the initial help is really high, and so you've got to have the poise to just kind of play to the next action, play to the second side. And I thought on a lot of possessions we did that. We moved the hell out of the ball on some possessions and really found great shots, even some of the ones that didn't go in tonight. So offensively, like the last game, I thought we had great attacks. It was the defense that kind of was ebbing in and out, but we found enough of it tonight to get the win.
Just one quick follow-up. So 36 assists for you guys tonight. That's just a very common number, it seems like, at this point in the season. Just what do you think of the identity that you guys are building in terms of that aspect of the game?
Yeah, we're sharing the ball. It's impressive. They trust one another and trust what we're doing. And at the end of the day, good defenses make you do that. And if you want to be a good team, you have to react to that, to read the defense. And I thought the guys did a great job of that tonight. Like I said, I thought we had great movement tonight, both floor movement, our off-ball stuff, and then movement of the ball.
Right, we just talked about Jalen as a facilitator in DC. I just wonder what you're talking about tonight, and specifically the connection between him and Chad. What ways you've seen that materialize to have a night like tonight?
Yeah, they've been great. We've obviously done a great job in those minutes lately. I think it's a great lesson of, that was rough to start the year. Those units, to start the second, start the fourth, we had a hard time finding our footing with those guys on the court. And they just worked through it together, at the end of the day. And the units have done that. It's not just those two guys, but those two guys in particular have worked through it together, have taken ownership of that, and have worked together to make that a good tandem and to make sure that they're effective in their actions. And that's only grown in a short period of time, and as long as they continue to work through it together like that, it's going to continue to grow.
Just what's been most encouraging about Jalen being the one who's seemingly throwing Chet the most high, and just the general connection?
Just the willingness to work through it, because I think it's important to remember, it didn't start in this place. We've worked to this point, and we need to be a team. We've had some success and won some games, but we need to be a team that continuously improves, in all different facets of the game, as a team, in our actions together, with our details. We have to continue to look at our experiences in a really non-emotional way and just find ways to marginally improve with all these experiences, all these games, and that's how you get stronger in the NBA, and we want to be a team that gets stronger as the year goes on.
Can you talk about how much that flows from Shea, his ability to impact games when he's not even scoring here tonight, like in a certain quarter, he might not be attacking the rim as much as a scorer. How much of that unselfishness flows from him and your offense?
Yeah, he's into the team, for sure. He's into the team. He wants to win. He sees the big picture, as about as well as anybody that is as ambitious as him this early in his career. He's been like that from day one. He's always seen the big picture, understands that the game in front of us is important, but that the game in front of us fits into a larger picture, and that we have to have an investor's mindset. If we want to reap returns like an investor, and he's always had that spirit, continues to have that spirit. I think it's evidenced by seeing how these other guys grow around him. He can be an elite player, but he doesn't stifle the guys around him. That's one of the most impressive things.
You alluded to it a second ago, but how do you keep this team 25-11 after they out in the West? We're there. We've done something like that. Where does that growth mindset come in when they look at the standings and say it's going to be good?
It's just having an understanding of what's put us in this position. What's put us in this position is we've improved continuously. We prepare for the next game. We execute as best we can. We do our best. We compete together in the games. We understand it's not perfect, and then we learn from the good, the bad, and we just rinse and repeat, 82 times. And if you do that, and you stack that up, you're going to become the best team you can be, whatever that is. And we have to be okay with wherever that lands us. But when we've had some success, we have to understand that process has landed us there. And if we want to continue to grow, then we need to continue to invest in that process. But this is a team that, I think, at least to this point, they've been very naturally aligned with that.
Coach, talking about the rankings, how important is for you and for the guys that's that position in the Western Conference?
Not really that important right now. We're just trying to be the best team we can be, and like I said, let that win the day. If you commit to a process and you just do your best and be the best team you can be, then wherever you end up is where you're supposed to be, and you can rest your head on the pillow at night knowing that that's, you've maxed out. And I think this team, we're not perfect every night. It's the NBA. It's really hard to be perfect. But I think we do a good job of maxing that out, and we're content with wherever that lands us.
Coach, you guys took about 60% of your shots tonight in the mid-range and converted about 69% of them, if I remember correctly. What does it say about being able to do that at such a high volume, at a high rate in the modern NBA, and make that be an efficient part of the offense? Was it just a thing tonight of reacting to the way that the Heat helped, or how do you feel about the way that played out tonight?
Yeah, we're like league average or a little below maybe in terms of distribution there. We shoot it really well from those spots. I think the mid-range stuff, not all shots are created equally. Some of those are open, most of them are open, most of them are good looks for us, but they're created by rim pressure, and they're created by our willingness to throw it to the perimeter. So if teams are going to sell out to take away the rim or take away the perimeter on a given possession, and that's the best shot available, usually it's a pretty good one. But we have to be a team that's willing to explore more efficient shots on a given possession, and then be willing to take that if that's the best thing available. But certainly that's not something we're hunting.
Coach, the people say around the league, OKC is just Shea, Josh, or Chet. But today, Shea just scored 1 point in the second quarter. But between Joe, Dort, and Williams, they scored 22 points in that quarter. How good is this for the team and as a team?
And we want to be a team where the whole is better than the sum of the parts, and we've got some good parts, we got some really talented players, but we have to play together and activate one another if we want the whole to be better than our talent. And like I said before about Shea, and really about our whole team, they're a team that understands that and are willing to invest in that and willing to, sacrifice maybe a couple more touches or points or shots in pursuit of that. And I think to this point, that's why we've maximized ourselves as a team.
Last question.
Now this trip is over, when you've been tried time and again, it feels like, how would you summarize this trip and just how has it played out in your eyes?
I mean, just we've learned from some games here. I thought, we didn't have our fastball from an energy standpoint on this trip. We had a lot of late arrivals, a lot of travel, a lot of built-in excuses, scheduling excuses that every team goes through, and we happen to be going through it on this one. And I thought tonight and in Washington we did a good job of drumming up energy in those games and getting back to our attention to detail, getting back to our defense and physicality. And we're gonna need that. We have a couple here at home, and then we turn right around and have a similar run next week.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.